Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is a live recording of a 50-minute full body flow. Find some space to move, maybe a lovely furry friend, and let's get started. I think we're actually going to start laying down on our backs. So feel free to lay down. Let's all lay flat, though. And you can bend your knees and plant your feet kind of hip width apart. Bring a bit of space between your knees. You might start to sway your knees side to side. And lightly press your low back down. Try to give it a gentle massage. You can close your eyes here too and just take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. Push your toes into the ground a little bit more. Feel your feet. And if you happen to be swaying your knees side to side, you can slow that movement down. You can even place your arms by your sides if they aren't already. Hands close to the hips and maybe your palms facing down. Walk your fingertips towards your feet a little bit, dropping your shoulders from your ears. And then use an inhale, start to lift your hips up into a nice bridge. Squeeze your glutes a little, push into your feet, push into your upper back or the shoulders a little bit. And stay for an inhale. And as you exhale, you can slowly lower your hips down, maybe to a very small hover, or you can touch the ground. Get as close as you can get. Maybe even feel the ground, but you are hovering slightly. And then take an inhale to lift, squeeze, press the ground away. Stay for an inhale, and as you exhale, lower your hips again all the way or to a very small hover where maybe you can lightly feel the ground beneath your hips, your glutes, your low back, but it's very small hover. And take an inhale to lift one more time. Squeeze. Press the ground away into the feet, those shoulders. Take another inhale. And then as you exhale, let your hips come all the way down this time. All the way down. And if you want to hug your knees to your chest, you could do that too. Maybe sway side to side. If you'd rather keep your feet on the ground, go for it. But just massage your back against the ground. Maybe wiggle your toes if you've got your feet lifted. And if you're hugging your knees in, start to let go of them. Bring your feet back down to the ground. And let's reach our arms out wide. We're going to bend our elbows and our hands are going to be floating. So maybe you can point your fingers straight up, make some cactus arms. So if your elbows, if you take a peek at them, maybe they can be in line with your shoulders-ish. Spread your fingers wide and then try to bring your hands to the ground slowly. They may not go all the way there. You might have to straighten the arms a little bit along the way, but just see how far the shoulders will rotate. Maybe the fingertips or one of them can lightly touch down. Just take a moment to pause at the bottom and relax a little bit. It feels weird, but maybe move and adjust if something's not feeling quite right. And then you can lift your hands all the way back up, nice and slow. Point those fingers up and let the hands fall up now. your cactus arms, but your palms facing up, maybe a little bit nicer of a rotation. And you get each and every finger to touch the ground, though. Maybe, maybe not. We're going to leave our arms here, though. You can keep your feet on the ground or you can lift them up, bringing the knees a little closer to the chest, pressing your low back down, turn on your low belly, leave your arms where they are if you can, and maybe you'll start to sway side to side. If you want to use your arms, you can use your arms. Or maybe you just go for a little sway of the knees, whether the feet are floating or whether they're on the ground. And you can make that sway as big as you'd like, but always go slow. Press the low back down, a little bit of a twist. Just trying to turn on the low belly too. And then find your way back through center. If you are swaying those legs side to side, push your low back into the ground. If your feet are floating, bring them down. You can slide your arms all the way to your sides. Set up your bridge. Palms down, walk the fingertips towards your feet, and then take an inhale to lift your hips up. Last one here. Lift those hips, lift your chest. Push the ground away, a little press into the shoulders, into the feet. Stay for an inhale. And as you exhale, come on down, lower your hips. You want to hug your knees back to your chest, go for it. You want to sway side to side a few extra times, you can do that too. But we're going to be coming all the way up to tabletop. So roll over or rock yourself forwards, whatever you prefer. Find your way to your hands and knees. And spread your fingers wide. And maybe you're swaying your hips side to side a few extra times. But cycling through our cat and cow, you can move with your own breath, or you can follow me. Take an inhale, drop your belly, and lift your chest, and lift your chin. Stay for an inhale. And as you exhale, round your spine. Lift your belly button up, tuck your chin in, take an inhale to drop back down. Your back. Lift your chest, elbow creases maybe turning to face forward just a little bit more. Stay for an inhale. And as you exhale, round. One more here. Inhale as you drop your belly. Lift the chest and maybe the chin. Stay for an inhale and let the exhale round your spine. Pull your belly button up. Nice. You guys come back to a nice long spine. Tuck your toes if they aren't already, and lift your knees into your downward facing dog. You can pedal out the feet a few times if you'd like. Push the ground away. Take a nice slow breath in and out. Do that again. Nice slow breath in and out. One more time. Fill up with it and let it go. Use an inhale to bring your gaze forwards, and as you exhale, walk on up all the way to the top of your mat. Once you do get there, you can inhale into your half lift, lengthening through your spine, and exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach up, and exhale, lower your arms. Take an inhale to reach up and exhale to fold forwards. Inhale into a half lift and exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up, jump. Exhale, lower your arms. Inhale as you reach back up and exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, half lift And exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. And exhale, lower your arms down. Nice, you guys. We're going to stay standing. You're going to step your left foot back a little bit. Your pyramid stance, so facing forwards. Right now, we're going to plant down into both feet. Facing forwards, you can decide how wide your feet are. Hands to your hips, maybe. Take an inhale. With the exhale, you can start to tip forwards, push into both of your feet. Gonna send your hips back a little. You can stay standing tall if you don't want to fold. Maybe you're looking down to your nice big toe. Use an inhale to lift back up, though, if you are folding forwards. Now you can keep your hands on your hips. You could bring your hands to your low backs, your elbows pointing out to the sides, palms facing behind you. Take an inhale and an exhale to tip forwards if you'd like. Press into both feet. Front foot and back foot. Relax a little. Breathe. And if you're folding, you can use an inhale to lift up again. One more hand option, interlace those fingers. Lift the chest a little bit more maybe, but take another inhale and an exhale to tip forwards if you'd like. If you're interlacing your fingers, maybe your hands can float up and off of the low back. Feeling the chest, the shoulders a little bit more, but just an option. Push into both feet. Look down if you're folding forwards, and then using an inhale to come all the way up to standing and let your arms fall to your sides. Step your back foot up. Maybe give your legs a little shake and roll your shoulders back and down too. And then take an inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lifts. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up. Reach up. Exhale, lower your arm. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale as you fold forwards. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, lower your arms. And one more time. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, lower your arms. And now you can stand here. And we'll step our right foot back. Both feet, press it. Stand tall, face forwards. Hands to our hips to begin. Maybe you stay standing tall the whole time. Inhale, though, and exhale to fold if you're going to be folding. Send your hips back a little. Push into both of the feet. Maybe feel a nice stretch through your legs, but they're also working here as you push into your feet. You can use an inhale to lift if you are folding forwards. Maybe your hands stay on your hips. Maybe they find the low back, your palms facing away, elbows pointing out. An inhale here, though, and an exhale to tip if you're going to be tipping, and push into both of those feet. Fold if you want to fold, but just breathe wherever you are. Awesome work, you guys. Letting an inhale bring you up again if you are folding forwards. And then one more time. You could interlace the fingers if you want to. Maybe lift the chest a little more. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you can fold. And maybe the hands float off of that low back a little bit. Press into both feet. How's that back foot doing? Nice work, you guys. Use an inhale to lift yourself up if you are folding forwards. Exhale, your arms fall to the sides. Step your back foot up. Maybe a little shake of the legs. Maybe a shoulder roll too. And then inhale, take a nice big reach up. As you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale into a half lift. And this time as we exhale, we're going to fold and pause in our forward fold. So you can widen your feet if you want or keep them where they are. Maybe you'll hold your elbows here. Let your arms dangle, get heavy. At the knees. Maybe add a little sway. Press your toes down. Feel your feet against the ground, holding you up as you hang heavy, the upper body. Nice job, you guys. You could let go of the elbows if you're holding them. You can bend your knees more. Maybe we'll roll up to standing one vertebrae at a time. So lead with your low back. One vertebrae at a time and pushing into the feet. Start to stand. Maybe you can look down at your big toes the whole way up until you're standing tall. And you've just got to lift your chin. Nice. You guys roll the shoulders back and down once you are standing. Take an inhale to reach up and exhale to slowly fold forwards. Inhale into a half lift and exhale to fold. Bend those knees and take an inhale to come all the way up. Reach up and exhale, lowering your arms down. Okay, let's take our left foot back again, where this time we can stand on both of our feet or just our right foot, our front foot. So maybe you have your hands on your hips like before. Take a nice tip, stay on both of your feet, your pyramid. If you want to get a little lighter through that back foot, feel free to move to hold on to something, or your hands can find those hips again. But we're just leaning forwards, maybe looking down. If your back foot wants to float, it can float into a warrior 3. So we're going to stay here, just a few breaths. Find the balance. You're floating your back foot. Try to be nice and long from your toes, those left toes to the crown of your head. But breathe. Push into your right foot, those toes. If your left foot's on the ground too, push into both feet. Awesome work, you guys. Take another breath or two. We're going to find our way all the way to standing. If you are floating that left foot, you might bring it to the top of your mat. And if it's not already there, you can step your back foot up, a little shake of the legs if you want, maybe even a shoulder roll, or we're switching right to the other side. So right foot back, same thing as before, both feet down, both feet staying down, or we can get a little lighter. But you don't have to tip. You can stay standing pretty tall. Whatever happens, happens. Maybe your upper body takes you. Maybe you're holding on to something. You're nice and wobbly. Use that left foot, push into the ground. Back foot's floating. Let's be nice and long. From the toes to the crown of the head. Or maybe your back foot is on the ground. Press into. Take your time to find your nice smooth breath. And then let's slowly inhale and come all the way up. And maybe you're bringing your back foot all the way to the top now, or maybe you're going to step it up. You give your legs a shake if you want. Arms to your sides. Feel free to add a shoulder roll in, and then use an inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale as you lift halfway up and exhale, fold down. Let's plant our hands this time and step back to downward facing dog. Push into your hand. Send your hips high, maybe pedaling through the feet. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, start to bring your knees down. Child's pose. You can bring the knees wide or together. Send your hips back. Melt your forehead down. Wherever you want your arms. Softening through your shoulder and your belly. And slowing down the breath here. So stay a little longer if you'd like. Or maybe your next inhale will bring you back up to tabletop. Slide the knees in if they're wide. Spread your fingers out too, and maybe give your hips a little sway side to side as well. I want you to tuck your toes under. So tuck the toes under. And then as you inhale, try to drop the belly again and lift your chest and your chin. And maybe turning your elbow creases forwards a little push into your toes too. Stay here for an inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to round our spine and flip to the top of our feet. Tuck your chin, your cat pose, push into your hands. Lift your belly button up on the top of the feet. As you inhale again, we're going to drop the belly. We're going to tuck our toes into our cow. Lift the chest, the chin, arch the back, tuck those toes under. Stay for an inhale. And then as you exhale, round your spine again and flip to the top of the feet. Squeeze your belly in, tuck your chin, and then use an inhale just to come back to a nice long spine. Reach your arms forwards. Maybe lower down to the forearms and bring your palms together. You can lift your hands up, point those fingers up above you as you let your forehead melt down, your chest too for a puppy dog stretch, maybe with our hands lifted. Take another breath here. We'll be using an inhale to slowly lift again back to our tabletop. If your hands are lifted right now, take your time bringing them back down. Climb up to the palms again to tabletop. Okay, so we're gonna tuck our toes under again. So I'm gonna keep my knees hip width apart, my feet hip width apart. We're gonna tuck our toes under. We're not gonna arch our back again though. We're just gonna try to send our hips back towards the heels. A little push into the hands so those toes are tucked under. And we're going to float our hips forwards a little bit. So we're back in our tabletop. Rest on the top of the feet. Try to send your hips back towards your heels again, but the feet, the knees are still hip width apart. So a little push into the hands. Then you can float forwards again and tuck your toes under. And you're going to send your hips back towards your heels again. And then I want you to push into your hands more. Push, push, push. And see if your knees will hover for just a second. Just a nice little hover. Pushing into those hands, sending the hips back towards your heels, and then you lightly press those knees down so that you can float back forwards and flip to the top of the feet. And then you're going to send your hips back one more time. Send those hips back. And don't worry, we're not floating our knees here, but push into your hands more. Push, 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 and send those hips back. Maybe they're between the heels. Ever so slightly, or on top of them. Now slowly floating your way forwards again. Okay, one last time to tuck the toes. Tuck those toes, send the hips back, and this time you can hover those knees slightly, or you can lift all the way up to downward facing dog. Push into your hands more though. If you're coming up into that downward facing dog, you might even float your toes off of the ground. Try to drop your heels towards the ground as you press into the balls of your feet. Nice work, you guys. We're going to use an inhale to look forward. So meet me in down dog if you aren't already there. Using an inhale to look forward and an exhale to walk all the way up to the top of your mat. Take your time. Letting an inhale lift you halfway up and exhale to fold forwards. As you inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach up, and exhale, lower your arms down to your side. So we're gonna stay standing here. You can have your feet side by side, or you can cross your left foot in front of the right. Squeeze the legs together, but reach your arms up above you. If your left foot is in front, we're going to tip over towards the right side. So take a little tip over to that right side. Push into your feet, both of them. A little side stretch here. Maybe your right hand holds that left wrist. Pull a little. And then use an inhale to slowly come back. We're going to keep our legs here. Well, maybe we'll tip over to the other side and just notice the difference. Can you go a little further? And then use an inhale to come back through center. Let your arms fall to your sides. If you're crossing your legs, uncross them. Maybe a little shake. Keep things side by side, or maybe you're bringing that right foot in front. Squeeze those legs. Push into the feet. Reach up. Reach up. And then you can start to lean over, maybe to the left side first this time. And then using an inhale to come through center. And maybe you're going to tip over to the other side. Little pull on the wrist. And then using an inhale, come back up. Let your arms come down. Uncross your legs if they're crossed. Give them a nice little shake. Find the top of your mat if you turned like I did. And use an inhale to reach up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale into a half lift. And exhale to fold. Plant your hands, step back. Downward facing dog. Big push into your hands. Stay for an inhale, and then let the exhale bring your knees down. Down to tabletop, but then we are going to take a seat. So however you want to sit down, bring your legs in front of you. Maybe give the knees a hug, a rock, side to side. So we're going to be leaning back, putting some weight into the hands. So if our fingers can point away from us. A little lift of the chest, maybe the chin. You can have your hips pretty close to your hands, or maybe there's a decent amount of space between your hips and your hand. Maybe you want to bring even more space from your hips to your hand by scooching the hips down and away. Just finding that sweet spot that feels good on your arms, your elbows, the chest. You did scooch the hips a little further than how you started. Just start to scooch them back so that you can lean forwards and take the weight out of your hands. Maybe give your knees a hug or a squeeze, move your arms a little bit, take some wrist circles, whatever you need. Now we're gonna lean back again. You can be on your hands again, or you can try to come down onto your forearms. You're gonna come down onto your forearms. Well, your wrists might thank you, but we're gonna bring our hands by those hips, fingers pointing down towards the feet, maybe. So I want you just to take a second to set up your forearms. You might tuck the elbows or try to bring your elbows a little bit closer together underneath your back. Your hands might even tuck a little bit underneath your hips, kind of like fish pose. But we're going to keep our head lifted. We're going to lift our chest. You might be looking up. Trying to open up through those shoulders a little bit, the chest a little bit. And I know this is taking some effort. So we're just here for another breath or two. And then kind of relax, let your chest fall a little, let your chin fall a little. We are going to be laying down. If you want to come up to seated first, you can come up to seated. If you just want to tuck those elbows out to the sides and slowly lower, you can lower yourself onto your back too. But just free up your arms, rest them at your sides, move around a little if you'd like. Lay on your back at some point though. Your feet planted, maybe giving your knees a little bit of a sway. Maybe a moment to notice how you're feeling through your shoulders, your chest, elbows, wrists. Then you can start to make your cactus arms with your fingers pointing up. Take a peek at those elbows. Are they kind of in line with your shoulders? So palms facing the bottom of the mat, but fingers pointing up. Spread them wide. What happens when you lower your hands down? Let the shoulders slowly rotate. Go as slow as you can. Maybe you reach a point where your arms hover. Maybe the shoulders keep rotating nice and slow, and your hands touch the ground, but maybe they don't. And then you can start to bring your hands back up just as slow. Pointing those fingers up, spreading them wide. And then maybe going the other way. Palms up. Maybe the hands all the way to the ground. So you can either leave your arms here or move them. I'm going to start to sway our knees side to side. You can keep your feet on the ground or you can lift them again. But we're going to try to make that sway maybe a little bit bigger than we did at the very start of class. So much so that maybe if you tip your legs over to one side, you could hold them there. You could hover them there for a moment, using your core, pushing into your arms, your shoulders a little bit to hold those knees in a hover off to one side. If you don't want to hover, you don't have to hover. But if you are, go to the other side. And you can just sway side to side a few more times. Can you push your low back into the ground? And you sway it out. And if you have your feet lifted, bring them down as well. We're going to move our arms. If you have them out still to the sides, move them in, relax them completely. Maybe rest your hands on your belly. Maybe take a little shoulder roll. Going to be hugging our right knee to our chest. So you can hold on to that right knee, maybe on top of it, or maybe tuck your hands between your leg, underneath the quad. Let your calf rest on top of your hands. So right now, our left foot, it's planted, that knees bent, holding onto our right leg. Just notice how you're holding onto your right leg. Are you resting your hands between the legs? Are you holding on top of the knee? What happens when we bring our right foot back down and cross our left foot over top of that quad for figure four? Maybe your right foot stays on the ground. Maybe you try to hold on to that right leg between the legs. Hands behind the quad, resting the calf on top of the fingers, kind of. And you find the top of the knee or the shin. Does it take you deeper into that figure four stretch, that glute stretch? Or maybe you can't quite get there. Maybe your right foot is still on the ground. Just feel your left glutes and leg. Take another breath and then let go. Bring your feet to the ground, both of them uncross the legs. You can shake it out a little bit if you want to. We'll leave our right leg though, foot planted, knee nice and bent, and just hug your left knee towards the chest. Maybe start by holding on top of the shin or under. Relax the leg. Maybe moving your hands back to on top of the knee or the shin. Still just trying to relax that leg, hug the knee to the chest. And if you want to come into your figure four, let's bring our left foot all the way down. Right foot can cross over top. And you don't even have to lift your left foot back up if you don't want. Maybe you do. Hanging onto the back of the quad again, but relaxing that left leg too. Maybe you do try to find the top of the knee or the shin. Maybe you don't, though. Whatever gives you the best stretch for the glute. You can still relax, have your head on the ground. No need to hold it up. Take another breath here, and then you can let go and uncross your legs and plant your feet. You feel like swaying a few more times, you can sway. Or maybe the soles of the feet find one another and your knees fall out. And rest your arms wherever is comfy. Let your hips open up. You are absolutely comfortable here. You could stay. If you want to send your legs out long for Shavasana, you can start to move. Find a comfortable place that requires zero effort. Your body be heavy against the ground. Slow everything down. You can slowly start to move. Fingers, your toe, maybe your chin is turning from side to side. Use a deep breath in to move and reach your arms all the way above your head. Stretch. Bending your knee so that you can roll over. And finding your way up to seated when you're ready. Maybe bringing your hands together. Awesome practice, you guys. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great rest of the day, and we will see you very soon. Namaste.